Hey, this is Zach Peak.
Hey, this is Pat Dorian.
This is Drew Rob.
It's Anthony Cervidio.
You're listening to the Talking Birdie podcast.
Fly ball left field. Nate McClough is there. And the magical season of the Baltimore Orioles continues.
Ball and 2 strikes on Goins. Ground ball to first. There's Pierce. And the Orioles are champions of the AL East.
And everybody knows he's ready to fire on the first one. Bases loaded. Young swings, line drive. That is down and to the wall. Cruz is in. Pierce is in. Party around third. He's going to try to score. And safe. The Orioles have the lead.
With the first selection of the 2019 MLB Draft, the Baltimore Orioles select Adley Rutschman, a catcher from Oregon State University.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's episode 41 of the Talking Birdie podcast. It's Ryan, your usual host, and I have Josh with me, but once again, we do not have Bradley. Everything's fine, but Brad's doing some school stuff, and we wanted him to put his full attention towards it. So, Brad, get your bag, buddy. But in the meantime, we have a guest. Anybody who uses Twitter to follow the Orioles has probably seen this wonderful lad before. He is the beloved at Masson Orioles with a Z account. It's Freddie. How you doing, buddy? Welcome. Happy to have you here.
Hey, thanks for being here. Excited to be part of the show.
Absolutely, man. What am I doing? Josh, how are you, man? I didn't ask you how you were.
I'm doing good, man. The house stuff is coming together. We keep submitting like counter offers. You want to talk about something where you like have to just pay for just the most random shit? Is just the house buying process. It's so many little things. You're like, here's $2,000 for us to review your like title or whatever. So if someone from 1945 shows up and says, we want this house because it's ours, because my granddad signed it on a napkin from a restaurant. Yeah. You want insurance for that? Okay, I guess. But other than that, things are going well. Freddie, how you doing, man?
Oh, I can't complain. Just spent a weekend at the lake and headed to Chicago next weekend to follow the Orioles. So a lot of travel in the next few weeks. That's going to be exciting.
Nice.
Excellent. Yeah, Josh, I was thinking about this today, and I've known you for about a year now? About a year now? You've moved eastward twice in the year that I've known you.
Slowly getting closer. I'm now going to be living in a state that borders Maryland.
By my calculations, by 2025, you will be somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes.
Cool.
All right.
Cool. So, Fred, welcome again. I have to ask, the people need to know, what inspired you to make your TV network parody account? Because most people know you only as the Oriole bird with a pair of cool sunglasses on.
It took me about 5 minutes to Photoshop that. Yeah. So, yeah, no, that's a good question. Back in 2015, so 2014 season, I had a cartoon, that whole phase on Twitter, all the sports tunes, I had a cartoon Steve Pierce. That wasn't going to last. I didn't have a plan for when he was going to get traded away. I think he's out of the game by now. So over the 2014 offseason into 2015, I kind of got an idea to maybe make an Onion sort of style account, but Orioles specific. And it would be stuff like, Orioles sign the ghost of Babe Ruth because of his veteran experience, the line Danny Kittle always like to give. And I started out, if you go way back towards the start of my tweets, you'll start to see a lot of things that are done in the same graphics as what the actual Masson would use at the time. And eventually just got to the point where I didn't want to keep up with that. I just kind of let it come into my own thing.
Yeah.
So I started just turning into my own content, whatever I wanted. So I'd say it probably lasted 6 months or so as the actual parody, and then it just became my own musings.
It's pretty funny.
I really
That's
love
good.
the spring training lineups that you did this year with the nicknames inserted on the
Yes.
actual graphic. That was pretty fun.
I
Yes.
really wish I could do that more. I just have time maybe once a week to ever do that. But no, I love doing that. Coming up with disparaging nicknames for people I hate. It really just brings it all together for me.
How often do random people tweet at you and tag you in tweets when they have issues with Masson?
It actually happened not with issues with Masson, but today somebody tagged the Orioles and myself in a tweet. Certainly some guy who doesn't even follow me. He was at the game with his kid, and he said, at Orioles, at Masson Orioles, great seats here, great ballpark you have. I'm pretty sure he wasn't talking to me. But when the app came out, remember that whole fiasco last year, I would get a lot of service requests. And so you have to have fun with it, right? So I'd say, sir, do you consider shoving it right up your butt? And then I get blocked. But you know what? In the time between that, it was a lot of fun to just kind of mess with people.
Oh my
And
God.
it's on them, right? Because I have parody in the bio. It's not like I'm trying to say something like nothing.
Not impersonating the account.
Right.
That's literally why verification exists.
Exactly.
But like people don't understand that.
Yeah.
That's really funny, actually. Yeah, I think I remember one time seeing you respond to one because you never know what's going to pop up on your feed. But I remember somebody was talking about complaining about Masson, and you were like, "Have you considered watching the game in our award-winning app?"
You need help writing your essay?
I laughed
First of all,
so hard.
that app makes me want to throw the phone off the bridge. It's a tough
it bad?
one. Oh,
Is
we're
it
working
bad?
on it though. We got our best brains at the job.
I use MLB TV, so no problem.
You're
You're
fine.
a little out of market bitch.
Hey, it's fine. The only games I can't watch are Cleveland Guardians games, and I'm really missing those.
You're not too bad. You are kind of missing out a little bit.
They're like a hard team to watch, though, man. Like
Really?
the star power on that team is like nothing. Like it's Jose Ramirez and like a bunch of dudes you never heard of on the pitching staff, but all their ERAs are like sub-3.
I mean, Shane Bieber's pretty good.
He's like not their best anymore, though. Like Tristan McKenzie's kind of coming to his own. Cal Quantrill is like really good, but I don't need to talk Guardians baseball.
Oh, Plesac, is he good?
It's okay, I think. I haven't checked his numbers this
I
year.
think we touched him up pretty well when he was in Baltimore earlier this year.
We got to McKenzie a little bit too because I went to that game,
Yeah.
which I thought was surprising because I thought McKenzie was pretty good.
He went 7 scoreless yesterday, though.
Oof.
Plesac,
wow.
3.8 ERA this year. He's doing okay.
I would take a 3.8 ERA in our rotation right now. Shit.
His ERA plus is 101. I don't know how that adds up with like a decent ERA. Whatever.
A lot of luck, maybe.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
All right, guys. Well, Fred, we're glad you're here. Thanks for stepping in. It actually kind of like, it worked out pretty well because like I didn't realize that when we were talking, you were like thinking that you were going to do it tonight. I thought we were just discussing like in general, and then we'd figure out a day. And then today you were like, "Are we still recording tonight?" I'm like, "Well, I guess we are."
Oh,
I texted them really quick and I was like, "You guys okay with this?" Like, it was like a misunderstanding on it was my fault, but if you guys are cool with it, we'll roll with it. And they were just like, "Yep."
Well, Ryan sending that text actually led Brad to say, "Well, here's the thing. I actually can't go on tonight."
Yeah.
So he wasn't even going to tell us yet.
Yep.
you would have found out eventually.
Yeah.
guess so.
Like when he sent the invites.
Right.
Declines.
But we're happy you're here anyway. It's fun. I think it was last week or the week before. It was whenever it was me and Josh.
Last week.
Yeah, we both agreed that we wanted to have you on here, and now a week later, you are here. So
Yeah.
So Fred, I don't know how familiar you are with the show, but we follow a pretty loose schedule. We just kind of bring up topics and, we riff on them a little bit. Sometimes we, zip right through a topic, and then sometimes we get way too hung up on a certain one. But I guess we can just talk about a little bit about that series over the weekend in Minnesota. It was super frustrating series to watch. It kind of seemed to send a couple people off the deep end from what I saw, which I think is, lots of overreactions, but it was very frustrating to watch. But they did manage to snap the losing streak after losing the last two in Seattle and then the first two in Minnesota with a nice win on Sunday. So, just what are you guys' kind of thoughts on, what went well, what didn't?
They've been putting out some weird lineups lately, man. Like there's like today's lineup, for instance, missing Mountcastle and Hayes. I think Mountcastle had like a sinus issue or something like that. But you'll see a lot of these like Tyler Nevin starting, Odor obviously starting, like McKenna out there, like some of these like weirder, like lower quality lineups that are not the best this team can put out. Mm-hmm. And what we kind of saw that come to fruition in the Twin series, especially where the offense would only score like 2 to 4 runs and the staff would give up about that many and ended up losing a couple in walk-off fashion. But I think it's a blip on the radar considering the lineups and like some of the injuries. We're getting to July here. All-Star breaks coming up and guys are wanting that rest, I think, is probably the reasoning behind these worst lineups. But tough series, but there's some good things to take away, I guess.
Yep.
No, at a high level, I think a lot of Orioles fans are kind of at best feeling mediocre about our last week or so. And our July is still 2-2 with 2 very winnable games that we lost, which I think in a broader sense is a really promising sign for the club. We had the win in June that we all can't get over almost. And then we move into, July, and we're starting to actually put together consistent games that we really know we should win, which just hasn't been the case. So it's been a weekend to forget for Jorge Lopez, of course. But I think there's a lot, just the fact that we're so upset about it. Some of these games, I think, is kind of a positive sign for the fan base.
It really is. I was kind of thinking the same thing. It's like, I saw somebody in our chat. It's like, after one, I can't remember if it was the first loss or the second loss. They were like, well, there goes finishing 500. And my first reaction was just like, yo, it's July.
Yeah, what?
Also, we weren't going to finish 500.
Yeah.
Or if we did, we blew away expectations.
Right. But it's just like, and a lot of the people, that we refer to are very young, and it's kind of their MO is they kind of just, they overreact to things. And it's just kind of how it is. But like, it's pretty cool that we're even feeling this way at all.
Yeah, for sure.
They finished the first half of the season 37-44. We all, I think for the most part, wanted to see a 70-win season this year, but how many of us really thought they would do it?
No,
I had my doubts.
Yeah, and going into the offseason, or going into the season after the winter, everyone was saying, look at these 4 teams in the AL East who did a bunch of additions and kind of revamped themselves, and the Orioles just kind of stayed pat. And I was on that train, like, yeah, this could really suck unless a lot of young guys really start coming up, which is crazy because that hasn't been, like, nobody's dominated, at least offensively, right? We got some solid seasons, but there's, Mullins is kind of dragging a little behind where he was last year. Mountcastle isn't quite what he was doing last year, but we're just putting together a lot of better wins and better consistent weeks. And I think it's obviously the pitching, of course, but
they're just pitching so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you said, Freddie, a first winning month in 5 years. I don't know if anyone was expecting that to even come this year, but we come off that, and then people want to keep that energy low after the winning month and stuff. And I don't know, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Even I was like kind of bullish on the 70-win season, Ryan, when we made those predictions at the beginning of the season. And after April, it wasn't looking too good either, but they've picked it up quite a bit. And overall, yeah, great team to watch this year, and it comes down to the pitching entirely.
Yep.
Genuinely fun. I look forward every day where there's a nose game on. I get sad when we have off days. And in the past couple of years, it's kind of been like, an off day, a reprieve.
Right.
I get to enjoy my evening. But that's not the case this year, and it's very nice. Very, very nice. For those of you who just saw, yes, I am using my wife's fuzzy blanket. It is very nice. It is very
wrong with
soft,
that.
very
Yeah.
warm.
I wish this room
I'm-
was cold enough to need a blanket. But
I'm not ashamed, dude. This basement is freezing. I have to shut the vents, and it's still freezing.
keep flexing, it's fine.
Yeah, bro, fucking AC.
I saw a tweet today. It said the Orioles had more pitching WAR than the Toronto Blue Jays as a team.
I saw that, and I
Yeah.
like anything that goes against the Blue Jays, so I was pretty happy to see that.
They
Hey,
don't really
Josh.
have like a lot of guys either. Like they lost Ryu for I believe the rest of the season, and it's just Barrios basically, and like some of the
And Gosman.
Josh,
Gosman, yeah.
Yeah.
Josh,
What?
Woodstock.
Woodstock. He doesn't like
That's
me
what I
talking about war.
Yeah, we don't like war on this podcast.
We're
Speaking of
peaceful
war,
people.
Mullins is our team leader right now. At least Baseball Reference war. Talking about a struggling season, but
I'm not sure if that passes the eye test to me. It just
No.
doesn't.
It's his defense. His defense does a ton of the heavy lifting for that.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually want to see how it's broken down between the defense. And
Which is also why, like, no matter how much Ryan Mountcastle matches, he'll never be like a high WAR player because he plays first base.
yeah, we were
Yeah.
talking about this the other day. It was like Pete Alonso has like 22 homers right now. He like leads the NL in RBIs and like has like a
Doesn't he have-
150 something OPS plus, and his WAR is like
Yeah.
2.2. Like it's first base is a tough thing to break into for WAR.
You know, I didn't expect Robinson Chirinos to be a good hitter, but he has been quite a bit worse than I expected he would be.
I didn't think that's where that sentence was going.
Where did you think it was
I
going?
thought you were just say like I like his approach because like I've at least enjoyed his approach. It's not bad because he's a veteran, but I mean, yeah, he's technically not a good hitter. But I thought you were gonna say something positive.
The only thing I like about his approach is he's one of the few batters that goes up there knowing he can't hit.
So true.
And I appreciate that. I really do. Austin Wynns was like that too.
He's actually having a decent little run on the Giants right now. He's their starting catcher, at least. as of
San
last week.
Francisco cheating lab.
Of course he is.
How bad does Joey Bart have to be for them to be playing Austin Wynns over him?
He was really bad, man. Stinking. Austin Wins' OPS plus is 78, but he's still like 0-0 WAR.
Oh my God. Did you guys see the I'm sure you guys did. I'm the one that's late to this, but I'm just going to bring it up. I just saw the pitching ninja video of Austin Voth just bamboozling Adolis Garcia with a curveball. Like he sent that dude to the shadow realm. Holy shit.
Mhm.
Actually did not see that one.
Oh man, you should. I just retweeted it if you want to pull it up. It's pretty hilarious. It's like, have you seen that video where the guy is like shoveling snow and he just starts slipping and he can't stop and he's just like, have you seen that video?
So,
Freddie's seen it. Yeah, that's what he looks like in the batter's box. It's very
he's
funny.
bad, man. Remember when that was the fun debate last year?
Jesus, yeah.
Head of
Both is one of those guys, you know, a number of pleasant surprises on the pitching staff. And I say pleasant surprise loosely because he's done exactly what we wanted and not a shred more. But like, you know, four solid innings today, probably going to be the end of the line for him.
Mhm.
He's kept us in the first third of games, which is just what we needed.
Yeah.
He's done better than like the usual like quadruple A guys that they called up a lot last year, especially.
Yeah.
That's kind of all you can ask, like you said, of guys this year.
Austin Voth, the poster boy for the Orioles cheating lab. He came here with a 10 ERA.
Yeah, he did in the Nationals. He's playing the Marlins like twice a month.
Speaking of the Marlins, I just saw a video of Brian De La Cruz hitting an absolute nuke off of Noah Syndergaard.
They have some studs. And it sucks because it doesn't seem like they can put it together, but they got some guys who can just absolutely mash the kind of
Really
stolen
do.
base.
They have no pitching though. Well,
No.
like in their minors, they have Sandy and they have Pablo Lopez, but
Sixto Sanchez is injured. Someone else that's supposed to be a stud. Oh, Max Meyer, I think that's his name.
yeah, did
He's
they call
supposed
him
to
up
be a
yet?
stud. Not yet.
Was that other dude, Edward Cabrera?
Yeah, he's supposed to be something. Yeah, like you said though, they got some studs there. Like Jesus Sanchez hit like a 500-foot home run earlier this year. He's like 23 years old.
Yeah.
And Alcantara is going like complete game every time he's out there, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Talk about a guy who came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He's so good.
You can get him. Was he in the Ozuna trade? Stanton trade?
Are we talking about Sandy Alcantara?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna look it up really quick.
I'm on his page already.
Fuck you.
I'm on it, Ryan. Come on now. He was from the Zach
St.
Gallen
Louis.
trade?
St.
Oh,
Louis.
Marcell Ozuna. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know Zach Gallen was drafted as a Cardinal.
very interesting. This is not in the notes, but Freddie, I want to run this by you really quick. Josh and I talked about this the other day. Josh thinks I'm dumb, but what do you think?
I didn't think you were dumb. I just thought like that'd be a pretty instant no from me.
Okay, well, I would like to hear what he has to say. We all know that there's nothing the Tampa Bay Rays love more than trading star players.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of this trade package for Sugar Shane McClanahan, who is currently boasting one of the best ERAs in the American League? I'll pull up his numbers really quick. It was also from Baltimore, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, bring the kid home, right?
Yeah, bring the kid home. He's got a 1.74 ERA right now.
His whip is
All right, you're stalling. You're stalling. What's the trade you're proposing? I know
his ERA plus is 203, Josh. All right, so shit, I forgot. What was it? Oh yeah. It was Mullins, Cowser, Mayo, and Baumler.
Do you do it?
Yeah, do you do it? Honestly thought, if you think I'm stupid, tell me. This is a safe space. And by a safe space, I mean it's a safe space to call me a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I'm going to lean that way.
Okay. All right.
So, for a number of reasons, I think he's a great guy to get. I think from what I've heard, Mayo is going to work towards untouchable pretty soon. Mullins, of course, I think last year was his peak. I could live with that, especially considering the studs that we have coming up. But I would drop Mayo out of that trade. I just don't know if the Rays would then go for it.
That was my exact take.
Yeah, I don't know what the obsession with Kobe Mayo is, honestly. He's a third baseman that hits a lot of bombs. Does he do anything else?
I mean, we don't really know how good his defense is, to be fair.
And what's our third base look like?
It's Gunnar Henderson or Jordan Westburg. Yeah.
They may move Mayo to like corner outfield, but that kind of proves to Ryan's point, I guess.
Or someone plays short.
He is another Ryan Mountcastle, is what I'm saying.
We like Ryan Mountcastle, though.
We love Ryan Mountcastle, but we don't need another one. We already have this problem with Trey Mancini, that they're both the same type of player, and you can't fit them both in the lineup with Adley Rutschman here.
If he can play MLB average defense at either third base or a corner outfield spot, that's kind of something you can live with.
But
if he's hitting 35 bombs a year, the way they talk about him. I get your point. He's a 20-year-old in Double-A, though, and like there's a lot of in-organization hype that they haven't fully let come to the surface yet, but they talk about him a lot. They ask him about his exit velos and all the interviews and stuff like that. All the prospect writers seem to love him. I mean, I just think it's something worth keeping.
Prospect writers love every prospect, Josh. They love every prospect.
I'm saying there's a special favoritism towards Mayo just from some early impressions here.
Yeah, because he hits bombs. That's what people want to see. I mean, I get it. I know he's probably good, but like, I'm not saying he's not good. Obviously, you have to give up something to get something. If you're getting a controllable 25-year-old lefty who has a 2.05 ERA plus, you're going to have to give up something of quality.
I think Cowser and Baumler are the thing you give up that's quality.
Cowser and Baumler doesn't get you Shane McClanahan's legs.
But I don't value a starting pitcher who only pitches once every 5 days, like for that amount given up, especially if Mayo's involved. Like I think that's too much for a guy that, the Orioles seem to be doing a pretty decent job of developing at least competent starting pitching on their own. Maybe we don't have that ace yet, but I don't think giving up a good chunk of the farm system, like some of the higher touted guys, is really worth that once every 5 days kind of guy, even if it is Shane McClanahan.
You disappoint me, Josh.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so Freddie, you say you make that deal just if you subtract Mayo.
Right.
Okay. All right.
I believe
Fine.
I said the same thing too over
Fine.
text. Yeah.
Fine. Yeah, I think you did. Because we had the same kind of discussion of like, I was like, I don't think Kobe Mayo is that special. And then you were like, aha, but he is.
He could potentially be that special, is the point.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know how much another right-handed power bat is going to, what kind of effect that's going to have on this team with the chasm in left field.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll get that move back.
Not that Mayo would have any problem conquering that wall, because I don't think he would. But I'm just saying, like,
watch the tongue, because we were going to get Kobe's father on here potentially.
I'm not trying to shit on Kobe, man. I'm saying, I said you have to give up quality to get quality. I'm not disparaging him. I'm saying that his value to this team might not be that high. That's all.
Agree to disagree.
That's all I'm saying. Sorry,
And of
Kobe.
course, we won't know until year's end too. So
2027 when he comes up. Yeah, I know.
I'll play this clip for you in a few years and we'll talk about it.
Okay. It's fine. Shane McClanahan wins a Cy Young. I'll be sure to remind you about that too.
I'm not saying he's a bad pitcher.
Oh, well, you apparently don't really care because he only pitches every fifth day. So
Agree to disagree. He leads the league in like 6 categories right now. That's kind of insane.
yeah, he's insane, dude. He is insane.
I
That's
got a-
why I want him. I want him so
Topps
bad.
Chrome rookie autograph of his last year for like $11.
Yeah, I got a finest rookie auto for I think like 13.
This is nuts. He's
Stonks.
pitched 98 innings this year. He pitched 123 last year. He's only 8 strikeouts away from tying his last year's total in like 25 less innings.
That's bananas. That is truly crazy. Okay, we don't need to talk about Shane
All
McClanahan
right.
anymore. Sorry, I took that. See, you see what I mean? Tangents happen on this show quite a bit. So sorry. I just wanted to get somebody else's take on my trade proposal.
Stupid conclusion.
Yeah, thanks. Bitch. You come up with some trades. You come up with some trades and I will skewer them on this show.
We will probably do a segment like that before the trade deadline. So
That would be fun.
I'll keep that in the back pocket.
It's fun that we can start talking about like potential buy trades.
Yeah.
Not
Probably
like
not this year, but
no, but we're getting there.
yeah.
Not like scouring other teams' top 30s to see like who we could get for whatever reliever.
I think the days of fire sales. Yeah. I wish we dumped Paul Fry for something last year,
Indeed.
missed opportunity, but you can't predict the August he had.
Yeah. And I think I don't think we've made a bad trade under this new regime.
I don't think so there. I think a lot of people like to dog on Eli's administration, but I mean, I can't think of anyone we've given up that's torn it up elsewhere,
Mike
Yeah.
Yastrzemski.
Yeah, right.
But nobody could have seen that coming. So I don't
No, that was
I don't hold that against.
Season is 30s, right?
Yeah, he's 31.
30.
Yeah.
30 or 31, yeah. Was that even
If it was-
Elias that let him go?
Yes, it was. It was
was
his
the one.
first. I think it was his first season. I think it was in 2018.
I was looking at Paul Fry's numbers actually when we started. He's like, he hasn't pitched since June 1st. He was like really bad this year too. I'm looking at Zach Pop right now. Nothing impressive.
Mhm.
What's Sulzer and Scott doing? I wonder.
I saw Tanner Scott give up a walk-off home run to the Phillies not too long ago.
Nice. Cole Sulzer.
And Salsa gave up
109.
a 3-run walk-off homer in San Diego like last month.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Lopez gave up 2 this week.
yeah, that happens.
I'm old enough to remember when trading those two guys was deemed an unforgivable move.
I'll own up to that.
That was so
Yeah.
weird, man.
Yeah. As far as I can tell, Tavera has been pretty good. One of the players that they got in that trade. Who's the other guy they got? can't remember. I just remember Carlos
I have
Tavera.
no idea right now. Carlos Tavera we drafted.
No. Tavera was one of the guys we got from the Marlins.
I think I disagree because Tavera was like our first pitcher picked in last year's draft. Here is the trade: Kevin Guerrero, Antonio Velez, and Yaki Rivera.
Sorry, I'm thinking of Velez. You're right. You're correct. I was thinking of Velez. My bad.
What can I say?
You only looked it up, but whatever.
I was certain before. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Still looked it up, bitch. Where even are we on these notes?
We've kind of covered Jorge Lopez already.
Yeah, we don't really need to talk about all. But you know what we do need to talk about is that Adley double yesterday. What a thing of beauty that was.
That was a fun game, man. I didn't catch the middle when they came back after the error. I didn't fully see what happened there, but
it was hilarious.
Inning.
It was a really funny error. Yeah.
Nate Lowe had his Bill Buckner moment.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I watched the replay of that. Yeah. That's nice.
It was really, really funny.
It wasn't hit that hard, I don't think.
No, it was hit very slowly, actually.
It reminded me a lot of Odor's walk-off fielder's choice against the Rays
Mm-hmm.
in May, as far as how the first baseman fielded it, and that he didn't.
Or didn't, yeah.
Right.
Lack thereof.
Right.
That was fun.
So
I thought
think
Adley clipped it, man, yesterday.
Oh, did you?
I thought it was out initially because the way his bat path was, it looked like it hit the ball like from the angle they had it at. So I thought he hit it out.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see it live. I just got a notification about 30 seconds before I heard it on the radio. But I think if you look back at least at bats in big spots, I can think of he was the last out against the Guardians at home, and it was just a line out into the shift. You know, this obviously huge moment for him, great contact. And I think his ability to kind of slow the game down in these really big spots, whether they materialize in hits or not, has been really, really big for the team already.
Yeah, we've kind of seen that over these last couple of years where like no one's really good in those moments particularly.
Mm-hmm.
And Adley so far, you know, maybe he doesn't have all those walk-off hits or like a lot of these clutch moments, but yesterday was a big one, and he does tend to put together a really good at bat in that spot.
Yep.
And we do see him, even if it's not the last out of the game, like just in the big spots, he seems to really, like you said, slow the game down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had one walk-off in all of 2019, right? And that just to exactly what you're saying, you know, nobody was able to slow the game down and really just do their part in that big spot except for Rio Ruiz. And then you fast forward now, and we have, 7 walk-off wins already?
Yeah, pretty nuts.
Should I tell him, Josh?
Tell him.
We don't talk about Rio Ruiz on this podcast.
Brad would be punching the air right now.
Yes, he would be. You wouldn't be able to tell because he doesn't have a camera right now.
Mm-hmm.
You would just hear whooshing sounds of him punching air, but he would be punching air.
Oh.
Brad has a hatred of Rio
Rio had his
Ruiz, rivaling that of your roommate's hatred for Yandy Diaz.
My roommate hates Yandy Diaz, and he couldn't even tell you why. He doesn't know why. He just like hates his face, hates the name. He just picked a player and said, you know what? Fuck you.
That's
dude,
how Brad's is. It's pretty irrational.
I know. Well, no, Brad has reasons.
He does.
Brad has reasons to hate Rio Ruiz, but it's the same level of hatred for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That was so funny, dude. I know we all had like quite a bit to drink, but it was still so freaking funny. That dude here, his roommate, like, was talking about how much he hates Yandy Diaz. We went to this game against the Rays. It's me, Freddie, and his name is Ethan, right?
Yep.
Ethan sitting next to me. And he's so hyped. He's like, I can't wait to heckle Yandy Diaz because his seats are like right above the visiting dugout. He's like, I cannot wait to heckle Yandy. And then like this family with like 3 small children shows up in front. And he's like, he just looked at him and you could see him getting upset because he knew he is like, he's also too good of a person to just like hurl curse words with children in front of him. So he was trying so hard to like yell stuff at him that was
Dance
appropriate.
around. Yeah.
Appropriate, and the dad still got mad at him. He's like, I got kids here, man. Come on. And he was like,
What did he say that would like generate that response without
quite
swearing?
literally nothing. He was like, you have a stupid face, Yandi. Like just elementary insults like that.
Yeah.
That you put ketchup on your eggs.
Yeah, it was very, very elementary, very childish, but that guy still got upset with him. It was funny. And then as soon as they left, he just unleashed every like reserved bit that he could, and it was just so funny.
I love a good late game heckle. Like it's like 11 o'clock at night. Like maybe there's a rain delay earlier in the game.
Right.
Like everyone's just drunk that's in front of you, everyone that's left. And I was at a Toledo Mudhens game once, and there was a baseball player in the 80s and 90s named Jesse Barfield. He was semi-popular, I guess. He was like had a decent
Jesse
career.
Barfield.
Jesse Barfield, and his son Josh Barfield was playing for the Columbus Clippers, Cleveland's AAA. And this dude like was, right above the visiting dugout, and just shouting all these things at Josh Barfield about how he'll never be as good as his dad, and like he's just a failure because he's 28 years old, still in AAA, and hasn't played in the majors yet. Like that's probably my favorite heckling.
The hecklers should know a lot about baseball and the players, where they can make really specific insults that get deep down to the core. They're my favorite.
Oh yeah.
If you're at the ballpark at like 11:30, like you said, rain delays, or maybe there's a blowout and there are like 8 people in the stands and you can hear them really well, they're going to say some very articulate, mean things.
Oh yeah. Well put together.
I have a fantastic story about that. So it's actually how I met Brad. Was in an Orioles Facebook group, and we had a meetup game. We had a meetup game where everybody bought tickets in the same section, and we just kind of had this like big cheering section where we all just hung out, and most of us met for the first time that day. And I think his name was Jason. We were playing the Blue Jays, and Michael Saunders was playing right field for Toronto. And this guy,
Saunders. I remember like when he played in Seattle, they'd just always talk about like, this is one of the most athletic guys you'll ever see. And like, he was like 28 years old, hitting like 195.
He's so lanky, dude.
Yeah.
He's like this big, tall, lanky dude. Like he looks like an inflatable flailing arm tube, man. Yeah. And so they pulled up Saunders' Wikipedia page. Gosh. And by the way, Keegan Aiken is completely blown this game. It's 4-3 Rangers now.
Tremendous. He's been not sharp lately.
Mm-hmm. And so they pulled up his Wikipedia page, and they were just yelling stuff at him, like, "I see you were born in British Columbia, Michael." Shit like that. And then there's an entry on his Wikipedia page that talks about how his high school coach called him the Condor as his nickname. So they just started yelling. They're like, "Hey, Condor! Condor!" And like at one point, Michael turned around and just like started smiling at him. He's like, "All right, you guys are good." And then they went in to bat, and the Blue Jays came back out, and Saunders took a ball out of his glove and like pointed it at them and threw it up to him. And he had signed it like Michael Saunders and then wrote the Condor under it. It was really cool.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. My roommate and I, we went out to a Yankees game against the Orioles probably 5 years ago, and we found Clint Frazier's Instagram and went back to his high school. And we started just shouting out the names of his ex-girlfriends at him from the right field wall.
No.
You got a couple turns out of him. Like,
that's pretty funny.
Dude, it couldn't happen to a better guy. Clint Frazier seems like such a dick.
He really does.
It's true. What did he
and
say?
He's 4'7" ginger guy.
Yeah, he like changed his like the name he wanted to be called too, didn't he? Like this year with the Cubs. He like there was like an article about that. I don't know. Let me try to figure out what that was, but he definitely tried to like get his name like what he gets called into the press and everything like changed.
Jackson Frazier,
yeah.
Huh. What?
That's what it says on his baseball reference now. Clint did not.
I'm not sure that's going to help. I don't know what that's supposed to solve.
Talk about a wasted career, though. He had
strange behavior, man.
Very wasted career. He's a
He's
big
had a
time
fine
deal.
career. He really hasn't. I know Yankees fans got very frustrated with his lack of playing time last few years. He hadn't done a whole lot to warrant it, but he hit 260 plus for 3 years in a row.
Yeah. Well, he was regarded as having like super fast hands when he was with Cleveland. He was like a big time prospect. Him and Austin Meadows were like high school rivals, I guess. I like friendly, of course, but like the high schools were very close to each other. I don't know, just the guy who like never got a true shot when he was like still young as a prospect.
He really didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. He was like behind all the fun Yankees when they were like their first like good season in a few years. I think it was 2016. Like he was right at the bottom of the tier for that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Michael Saunders earlier, would you believe me if he had one All-Star game appearance?
Yeah, I do remember him having one insanely good year.
Was that 16?
Yep, 2016.
Was that also the year Justin Smoke went off for Toronto?
Around then, yeah. He only played one more year after his All-Star appearance. He was out of the league next year.
He signed for the Orioles at some point.
Is that like a minor league deal?
Yeah, I don't think he ever actually played for the Orioles, but yeah, he did sign with us.
Signed May 15th, and then signed April 2nd, released May 15th. So
there you go.
Wasn't around too long.
We had a good run, Condor.
We did.
I went to a Michael Saunders 3 home run game in 2016. I'm looking at my game log right now.
Oh yeah, Jesus. What is it with people on this show keeping spreadsheets, dude?
I'm telling you, man, you can do anything you want with a spreadsheet.
I know, but it's just like, it seems like there's always one person on this show that has a spreadsheet, whether it's you with this or with your flight tracking, or not that I'm making fun of you for that. I'm just saying, or Brad with his, Brad keeps a running count of his softball statistics.
I'm a guest on his show, but I'll say that's a little much. Especially considering all you have to do is sit back and take a daddy hack in softball. And if you don't miss it, you're circling the bases.
They go back to what, like 2007 or something like that? Like
they go back
pretty
far.
For.
They go back pretty far.
Yeah, when I started tracking, I was like 21 years old, and I was like, bro, that's a long time.
But also, he plays in leagues, Fred, where you can't just hit bombs.
Oh, yeah. I know those kind of leagues. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's you get a home run per game per team, and any ones after that are just outs.
Yep.
So it's kind of dumb. Not that I like could ever hit bomb. I did play a year or two in his league, and I had a good time. But yeah, spreadsheets.
I keep one for every single card I purchase on eBay, and I like track the date I bought it, how much it was for, and if I sell it, I track that. So I'm more so disappointed myself in making this spreadsheet because I've learned I've spent like over $2,000 in the last like 3 years just on baseball cards. I think that's better compared to some people on Orioles Twitter, though. I see a lot of people just buy like $200 cards like all the time.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, spending that much on a hobby is like unheard of, you know?
I kind of
Freddie?
justify mine because I hit the $7,000 golden ticket 3 years ago or 2 years ago. So I'm like, I'm just taking off that original 7,000. These are all just investments. That's how I see it.
Freddie, do you not see the irony in you being a flight simmer talking about spending too much on a hobby?
Oh, that's exactly what I was implying by that. Yeah.
We spend entirely too much money on
Fake planes.
What do you pay for in the sim? Like, do you just pay for different planes?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I have one that makes the clouds look cool. That was $30.
Yeah, shit like that. $20 for a realistic looking BWI.
Yep.
Worth every penny.
Yeah. We pay for stuff that makes it feel like we're flying actual planes.
The real thing.
What did you hold up in your right hand?
It was backwards. My throttle quadrant.
Oh, okay.
My Airbus licensed throttle quadrant.
I don't feel so bad about my card spreadsheet.
Has realistic throttle detents.
Yeah. No, that's sick. That's the way to do it.
It's pretty cool.
Engine start switches, the whole shebang. And then this is my Airbus licensed side stick.
Yeah. That's pretty.
Airbus. Backwards Airbus.
Yeah, I don't feel so bad.
This is a flight sim podcast. Welcome. Welcome
Yeah, Freddie,
to Talking Planes.
I didn't know you commented that a few months ago on whatever video you said like talk more about planes, not baseball.
Yep, I did.
Did not know that was you.
More planes, less baseball, or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like if you want like a study level plane that has like realistic systems and stuff, that's not just like something that looks like what it's supposed to be, that it actually functions like it. I mean, Freddie has an Airbus an Airbus A320 family for his sim that cost him $300.
Yeah. It's pretty. It's worth every penny.
Dude, it's sick. It has realistic icing effects on the wings. It's awesome.
Hope your wife comes down right now.
She is asleep, so I don't have that. I don't even know. The most I've ever spent on a downloadable plane was probably the Tolus A321. That was like $70.
Yeah.
A mild purchase.
Yeah.
But you know.
Hey Ryan.
Oh, sorry, Adley's batting. My bad.
What's the score of that game? 4-3 still?
4-3, yeah.
It was 4-0, and then things got funky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Aiken got out of the inning.
He did.
Yeah, good for him.
But it was 4-0 when he came in.
Right.
That's true.
Well, because it was Voth that loaded the bases, all those runs get charged to him, which is dog shit. Not that I'm going to bat for Austin Voth, but it's not fair.
Ryan, tell me about Dean Kramer.
Well, Dean Kramer is the Hebrew God King, as we all know. He was really rolling. He was rolling along yesterday. But yeah, he had a tough little fifth inning there. He still looked pretty good. Things just kind of came apart for him. He had some unlucky bounces. But he has been a welcome addition to this rotation that I don't think any of us planned on having come into this year.
No, I was almost ready to write him off. He was my last holdout for the Manu trade. Obviously, I liked his stuff when he came up in 2020, but he would just leave stuff in the middle of the plate. His command just wasn't what it needs to be for this level. And then something clicked down in Norfolk this season. And it's been really cool to watch him go. He's a lot more confident. Whatever is going on with the man bun, I guess I have to like it now. But he's coming out there. And
it looks so bad.
Yeah. Days like yesterday will happen. There's not a pitcher out there who doesn't get lit up once or twice a month. So I don't really care about that. But generally positive trends for him. And I'm just happy that he's kind of anchored himself where he was supposed to be in the first place.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even go ahead, Josh.
I'm much more interested in how he recovers from his first true bad start of the season. Because that was kind of his problem in 2020, right? He had a really good start and he faced the Yankees 3 out of his first 4 starts or something crazy like that.
Right.
But he just never recovered after he got lit up the one time. And we've talked about it on this podcast a few times. Perhaps it was a very big mental block for him. Don't know. He was 24 years old at the time. A lot of time has passed since then. He has looked so good so far. So let's just see how this next start goes.
I wouldn't even call the pitch to Garver that got hit that really made it a bad outing. That 3-run home run. If he gets out of that inning, he gives up 2 runs. It's a good outing. 5 innings, 2 runs is fine. It's a quality start, right? I think it's a quality start.
Almost 1 more inning.
Oh, okay. Got to go 6. All right.
Yep.
But still, it wasn't even. I don't even call it a bad pitch. It was up out of the zone. Garver just got on top of it and just crushed it. So I like I said, I don't even think it was even a bad pitch, but that's going to happen to pitchers. And like you said, Josh, the most important thing is going to be how he comes back from it. And hopefully he has passed that mental block, and hopefully he can focus on the really good outings he's had when he goes into his next start. And if he can do that, then I think Dean's going to be just fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler Wells' worst start of the season was his very first one, and then everyone wrote him off as not a starter. And
yeah, that was so weird.
I mean,
Just to,
I was
like-
kind of like, yeah, maybe he's not a starter, but I definitely didn't believe that after one start.
Yeah. But like he is not a starter. I'm like, but he is. He literally is. He always started in the minors when we took him in the Rule 5 draft.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I didn't realize
T.
how
Wells,
dominant
man.
he was in Double-A. He was like a 1.86 ERA or something like that. Before
yeah,
his Tommy John.
one has to wonder how he made it unprotected. Like I don't understand. Maybe it was the uncertainty of the Tommy John that caused Minnesota to not protect him. But like, I don't know. You would think that guy would get put on the 40 to protect him from the Rule 5
Well,
draft.
you got to remember 2021 Twins were supposed to be a pretty good team. And like they were probably on the 40-man crunch for at that time at least. And maybe they just thought they could get away with leaving a Double-A guy who'd just come off Tommy John off the thing. We didn't even pick him in the first round. We took Max Roller. That's insane to me.
Yeah, but that's that Orioles scouting department, man.
Yeah.
No,
Max
I don't like to
Roller
be.
has not pitched since last year. Like he pitched like a couple games with the Reds minor league and then he
Yeah.
was Tommy John or something.
Yeah. I don't like to be called an Elias simp, but I will say, God, their scouting department is clicking on all cylinders now. For sure.
I do get sick of the consistent signings or waiver claims that are former Astros guys.
Yeah,
It's
it
annoying
is.
to me.
It is annoying.
Jonathan Arauz, former
Oh
Astro.
my god.
Yeah, he's quickly working his way up the hate list for sure.
I don't
Didn't do
think
much, but didn't take
I have a
long.
weird thing against players with funky names like that. He was the other guy. There was I'm blanking on his name, but another guy, similar situation a couple years ago, who just had like a variation of a normal name, but it was a really weird one, and just that made me hate him even more. I couldn't figure out why.
Was it that end started with an E?
There was an Engelb Vielma.
Yeah,
what the
that's
hell's
it.
an Engelb? Yeah, he was part of the fire sale in 2018, right?
I believe it was 2018. Yeah.
Thought we got him in that fire sale. I can't remember though.
By the way, the worst executed fire sale of all time.
Oh yeah, really was best players ever from that, right? Or like at least as far as
Dylan
score goes.
Dylan Tate, probably.
Yeah.
That was when I could have sworn we got him before that.
No, he was part of the Britain trade.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
What was
So-
it? Dylan Tate, Evan
Cody
Phillips, and Cody Carroll. Yeah.
Vielma was traded to the Orioles for cash, so we paid for him. His last
Cool.
game was less than a month after we received him. His OPS plus in the major leagues was 14, and
Cool.
his career was over in 2019.
Cool.
The Orioles run a charity sometimes for these people, I swear.
I really do. Last year was like a huge showcase for that. The amount of like relievers who were like career minor leaguers that just made the MLB team for like a game or two was pretty
Yeah,
insane.
like Jay Flaw was in the minor league since the War of 1812. He comes up and gets paddywhacked by the Astros, and they kick him out the next day. You almost have to feel bad for that.
I
Who's
know
that
they're
other guy,
almost
Manny something?
they're almost getting the like Make-A-Wish treatment.
Yeah, right.
Like
Yeah, some of it was like Manny Barreto was really cool to see. You know, comes up, has a good outing, his wife's there, and all that. But then his next outing, no one talks about for obvious reasons.
I'm glad we're mostly past that. I know it's
Yeah.
it's still happening a little bit, but I'm glad we're mostly past that.
Yeah, Mickey Jonas.
Very
Mickey
chill. Oh,
Jonas.
jeez, Jesus.
What's he up to? He retired, right?
Yeah,
I
probably.
think he's giving tours somewhere. Maybe.
Showing his knuckleball off to the world.
All right.
Oh god. Yeah, I think he's done. Hasn't pitched this year.
No, he has not, has he? At Princeton in the rookie league for the Rays. I'm kidding. I'm looking at the wrong side of the list. Double A. Yep.
Wait, who is that? I missed.
Mickey Giannis. He's in Double A right now for the Chicago Dogs.
Oh, is that Indy?
Oh, it's Indy.
Okay. I was gonna say he didn't show up on Baseball Reference. He was granted free agency November 7th, so he's out there somewhere.
Rocking the 11.57 ERA there. Yeah. All righty. I think that wraps up our Mickey Giannis analysis.
He's killing it out there.
Just absolutely killing it. All right. It's time. It's time, Josh. Do you want to bring us into this? Because
I'll bring us into this.
I feel like this is just I'm being labeled. I'm gonna get labeled as this being my thing, but it's our thing.
It is our
So-
thing. It's kind of been brewing for a couple months now, but Jorge Mateo just gets this like unwavering support from a good chunk of the fan base. I would say too much. And people look at his glove, they look at his speed, and they say this is a very loud, toolsy guy who we should really keep around for the long term. I see some people say that at least. And his batting average is like 180 something, I think. His on base percentage is like 240 something. Like he's an upgrade from Pat Valleca, I think, but he is not not someone we're going to keep around in anything more than a bench pinch runner role in the future.
He's just fast, Pat Valleca. That's all he is.
Yeah, and like his defense
Really?
isn't good. He's just fast.
Yep.
OPS plus is 65. Last year, OPS plus is 104.
He was
So I don't
fun
know what
last
he was-
year.
Yeah, and which is probably why, to your point, he's getting so much support. I think because he was a lot more fun last year, and that's going to carry over. And I feel like he's been a part of a lot of big moments this year for whatever reason. Like the walk-off error against the Red Sox that weren't actually because of anything he did. But I think he's getting associated with a lot of the more fun moments for the team this year. So a lot of people are kind of willing to give him a little bit more leeway for that. But no, he's coming up, it seems like, in some big spots, and he's just swinging at sliders in the dirt like a 2010 Adam Jones.
Yeah, that's accurate. I mean, he got hit by a pitch yesterday to win the game, and like that was
Exactly.
the best outcome you could have had for that, because
Like,
like he was
I
going
could've
to
done
be
that.
up there looking to swing at anything
Right.
down in the dirt at his feet, and yeah, that was the best outcome, to take the bat out of his hands.
Yeah.
His like K to walk ratio makes no sense for the Elias administration to like kind of take a look at, because like they like the guys who are a little closer to even. Mateo's like minor league walk and strikeout rates, like in the minors he had 227 walks to 714 strikeouts. That's atrocious.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, like, what was it? Just his speed that made him? Because he was a pretty highly touted prospect.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna
Yeah.
try to find what he's ranked as.
I believe he was a top 100 guy.
I think so.
And the speed is one of those things, like if it's something you can't teach, it's going to get a lot of people on your side, and they'll say, we'll figure out the hitting later. We'll figure out the glove later.
Right.
But you have the speed to work with, which I think is what the Orioles are probably still going for. He's only 25. That's not true. He's 27. So you're probably closing the window on that to what you think he can work on to still be productive.
That, and it's like, dude, Jordan Westbury is murdering AAA pitching. Gunnar Henderson is just slaughtering AAA pitching. And it's like, what are you gonna give? Are you gonna give Mateo ABs over those guys? I mean, obviously, and right now, yes, because they're not called up yet. But when they are here, I mean, someone's got to go. Roster spaces are not infinite, so you got to get rid of somebody. I mean, maybe that's Urias. Maybe you do keep Mateo around, but like the notion that he is a player that needs to be kept around is just, there's no angle that you can pitch it to me that would change my mind on that.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous that that's what's going to happen when like Henderson and Westberg are ready, is like Mateo will stick around far longer than he should. And I believe I have his highest prospect ranking. He was a top 100 2018. He was his number 72 when he was with the A's. I believe that's the highest I can find him. I'll try more.
And that's what infuriates his fan base, I think, more than anything, is when you got the guys who are being blocked by these just nincompoops who can't do much right. Like, I don't know what an Arauz is, but he's playing positions that are played by some beasts at AAA.
Yeah.
And this goes back, the reason I hate John Andrioli was because he was blocking Cedric Mullins and Adam Jones playing time back in 2018 or whatever. And it's this guy who had a ceiling of a high school janitor. So you can translate that stuff to this year with Arauz, to an extent Mateo, Richie Martin a little bit, even though he's been a bit better. And that's how you really start to piss off the fan base.
Yep.
I found a higher ranking. He was the top 30 prospect in all of baseball, 2016. Dylan Tate was number 36, and you'll never guess who was number 57. Jorge Lopez was a top 100 prospect.
Wow.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's impressive. Prospects, man. I try not to look at old prospect lists because it like dampers my
Makes
my
you
hype
sad.
for some of the guys that are coming up, because you look at, some prospect lists that are only a couple of years old and you're like, that guy was a top 10 prospect. You know what I mean? Like that guy didn't do shit.
I think it's so much fun to look at. If you ever watch like the Orioles Classics on Masson from like the mid 2010s, and they'll give like the in-game minor league reports, and ittle be like Mike Wright tore it up again.
Yeah.
He should have anytime.
That is pretty funny, actually.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm just saying I don't like looking back and seeing guys that turned out to be shit being
You
like,
can look back 2
ranked.
years ago and you'll see like guys in the top 15 that you're like, wow, their career really busted on. And like it's only 2 years ago, but you can already like kind of make the point that they haven't turned out.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes it is just comical. Like if you pick the right year, you can look at a Nationals prospect list and see Pedro Severino ranked like considerably higher than Juan Soto.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah,
So
Nick
that-
Senzel was a top 10 prospect with Cincinnati as recent as 2019. He's awful. He was selected second overall.
Yeah, it's depressing. It's depressing.
I had fun
But
with it.
that's the long and the short on Jorge Mateo. He's not good. He cannot hit. His baseball savant page is colder than a fucking meat freezer. And the time for him to be gone is coming. That's all I'm gonna say.
I wish he was around on like the 2018 Orioles or the 2019 Orioles and like stuck with us those 3 years. That would be really fun for a guy like that. But we're getting
He'd been
now
also
to
with his teams.
Yeah, he really would be. And we're
Yeah.
getting to the point now where it's like you said, like guys are coming. We kind of don't have a lot of room for the black holes of the lineup anymore. Like even Terran Vavra is probably a much better major league hitter than Jorge Mateo right now. And that guy's in AAA, kind of wait for the opportunity.
Yes, sir. I agree with you 100%. All right, Josh, this next part's yours as well. I didn't mean to drop two on you at the same time there, but this was your
That's okay. I wrote both of them down. It kind of plays to the point we're already talking about, where the depth chart is hitting a breaking point at several positions. I think we kind of talked about it early in the episode as well, like with the lineups, how like you'll see these Tyler Nevin starts, like he gets like guaranteed starts or whatever. The Odor starts where like we just still have these black holes in the lineup, and they're at positions where we have guys really breaking out in the minors. Like I just talked about Terran Vavra tearing it up in AAA. You have other guys who are knocking on the door. Like when's Yusniel Diaz going to get here? Like 8-something OPS in Norfolk already. He's coming back from injury. A couple other guys in AAA tearing it up, and something's got to break here soon. We knew this was going to be about the year when things were going to start. Where that was going to start happening. And something's got to give this year between Mancini, Rutschman, and Mountcastle trying to split time at DH. That can't keep going on for too long. We know Mancini's probably gone after this year anyway, but that's happening at third base, at second base, kind of at shortstop. The outfield is like a big pressure point, I think. Like the pitching staff, Gray Rod getting hurt kind of sucks, but at least that kind of relieves a little pressure for guys that are already at the major league level. But all over this roster, and this is not a complaint by any means, we're seeing a lot of these positions start to be pretty contended.
And it's a great problem to have, right? But when it comes into practice, it starts to be really tough. And I think there are some contractual incentives to keeping guys up. I don't know the details of it. I thought that would have been made a little bit better with the last CBA, but there's definitely reasons that they'll get guys with major league service time over some prospects where they have to start their clock, yada yada that. But I think there's just only so much we can wait for a lot of these guys who are just taking up dead space on the team right now, and I think a lot of it's gone already.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen it kind of fade away this year, like especially on the infield. Well, maybe not especially on the infield. We picked up our Ruse, and Chris Owings was here way too long. That seems like a millennial ago. But I mean, yeah, just those couple little black hole spots in the lineup are just still lingering around, and there's options in the minors that are like, potentially better than that. And that's kind of been the frustrating thing I've had with the Elias administration is maybe the slow pace at kind of making these kind of things go away. And I mean, it'll happen at some point. It's just like, I kind of want it now.
And to an extent, you kind of can get behind the argument of letting guys mature at the AAA level, but what do guys like Westberg have to learn anymore down there, And I'm looking at Aruz right now. That's a head scratcher. Why he's on a major league roster, why he's starting as much as he is. OPS plus of -3 this year, which is hard to do. You can lay out there dead and have a 0 OPS plus. He's -3. And like I said earlier, this is how you start to really piss off the fan base. You got these duds out here.
Yeah. Between Owings and Aruz, like those are major head scratchers. Like the amount of starts Nevin gets for the lack of effectiveness he has at the plate. Like I sent out a tweet today, he does have more walks than just about everyone in the starting 9 besides like Hayes, Mullins, Santander, and Mancini. But like Nevin doesn't provide anything besides like maybe a decent at bat every now and then. And it's just like, I don't know why he gets guaranteed starts the way he does. Odor's not anything to really prioritize starting every day.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing. So Nevin, I wish I could get excited when he comes at the bat, and he's had some, big home runs in the sense that they were long. They weren't really clutch at all. And I think it's probably why he's still here. And then you got Odor, who's been just like Mateo around some big moments earlier on in the year, and it seems like a lot of fun. But I'm not sure what they're doing. If they're both due up in an inning, you can kind of turn the TV off and wait till the next inning.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. We can transition the conversation away from the pitching staff more so to the lineup because the pitching staff's been so flawless this year, like in most aspects. But yeah, man, like Odor, I changed my tone on him. Really, yeah. I changed my tone on him like probably 2 months ago because I think he's really good for the locker room and everything. But that only takes you so far when teams start to get good.
I think it can take you farther than you think. That's why we got Jim Thome in 2012. But this is a little bit of a different situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Much different. Much different. Yep. You want to run through fantasy real quick and wrap this thing up, Josh?
Yeah, let's summarize last week real quick. Well, by last week, I mean like 3 weeks ago because we haven't had Brad with us since June 13th. But we're just going to give it to Brad because he was like blowing us out of the water at the time of the counting. Then he had like 111 points, which is pretty rare air for a 1 week performance. He had Prieto, Gunner, Mountcastle, and G Pinto. We'll just give him the dub without calculating the weeks that followed. But Freddie, you're going to draft in place of Brad today. How fun is that?
I'm excited as soon as I figure out what's happening.
Yeah. So the way it works is we intentionally, well, Ryan's idea more so, but intentionally waited till the draft to not prepare you for it.
Perfect. Let's do it. Bring it on.
So you have to pick one major league player. It can be either a pitcher or a position player, but you only need one. And then you can pick from the rest of the field as freely as you want. Doesn't matter what level, but you have to have one pitcher and one major league player. They don't have to be the same pick. If that makes sense.
Sure. Oh, no, that makes sense. Yeah. All right. I can think of all the pitchers that exist right now.
And so we do it rotationally. So since you're drafting in Brad's place and he won last week, you will pick first. But then do we know who finished second and third? Josh? I think I came in second again.
I had a pretty bad week. So.
Yeah, you did. Oh, yeah, because you got – I still have your scores in here. You got 48 points.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
You got -1 from Norby. Get shit on.
He got called up. It was a tough level for him.
So Freddie, you'll draft. You'll pick your player, and then it'll go to me, and then Josh, and then back to you. And then we'll do that until we all have 4 players picked.
Yep, just 4 rounds. Last year, we did this by level, like all the way down to rookie ball. So we took a rookie ball, a low A, a high A, a double A, and a triple A, and a major league player. And it was just insane. It was way too much.
We also had the goofy rules, like if a player was taken the week prior, he couldn't be taken again. So you ended up with like a lot of just like obscure, no-name prospects that literally no one's heard of before, where you're just picking off of a list and hoping they have a good week. Mm-hmm. But we've simplified it much more this year. There's none of that anymore. The only 2 drafting rules are the ones we just said. So
And you also can't pick the guys from Brad's team last week, but that only takes away Prieto, Gunner, Mountcastle, Pinto. So those are the only guys off the board for you. But we did it last year where everyone we picked could not be picked the next week.
yeah,
Right.
had some real Sunday punt lineups every couple of weeks.
It would just come
And
to a
is
head
all
like,
Major League Baseball or is it just the Orioles?
just the Orioles. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I didn't specify that.
Yeah, it's just us. It's not a it's just us. It was fantasy.
With the first pick, Freddie takes Juan Soto.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
It's like the Halo meme. It's like, wait, that's illegal. So whenever
right.
you're ready, bud, go ahead.
Enough's enough. So I'm going to a lot of games this coming week. And part of my reason for keeping my game log with individual player sets was so I could see my top performers. So I'm going to play the odds. Trey Mancini in 55 games that I've seen him play is in 297 with 7 home runs and 818 OPS. So I'm going to go Trey Mancini for this week.
Good reasoning.
This guy.
You see, Ryan, how he gave a spiel before he took the pick?
I don't give a fucking shit, Josh.
It's very helpful. I like when they talk before they pick.
Yeah.
Not just
Well, guess what? I'm just gonna go and then spread out a name, and you're gonna like it. Okay.
I'll be writing it down either way.
Yeah. Give me Jordan Westberg.
Safe bet.
I think I have time on the major league player I pick. Big Taryn Vavra guy. I'm just gonna pick Taryn Vavra. He wants that major league roster spot. He's coming.
I want him to get that major league roster spot quite badly.
You too, man.
Oh God, Arias just. I don't know if you guys saw it, but
Did not.
he went over to the net like trying to catch the ball, trying to catch like a pop up, and it hit the net and came towards him. So he like stopped at the net, and then he was like, as the ball like bounced off the net towards his face. All right, so back to you, Fred.
All right. DL Hall is back officially.
He's not tipping pitches anymore.
Yeah,
it's DL Hall time.
So kids, if you're listening out there, don't tell your batter what's coming.
Yes.
So I'm going DL Hall for the second round first pick.
Interestingly enough, I actually saw some people saying that they think Lopez might have started tipping pitches because pitchers were only like swinging at his slider or only swinging at his sinker. It's like they weren't swinging at anything else.
I'd have to
That's
see
very
someone
possible.
who like actually watches that much baseball to where I could like, they could like show me like, hey, this is what he did, and here it is. Like, I don't know. I'm bad at looking for that stuff.
Yeah.
I saw Mike Trout was trying to yell at his pitcher from center field that he was tipping pitch.
That was a really funny video.
He's like, come on, man.
Was that a game where both Trout and Ohtani homered and they lost like 11-1?
I think it was, yeah. Poor Mike Trout, man.
Right.
Ryan, it is your selection.
Give me Austin Hayes.
Okay. Wait on my major league player. Let me double check that this person is healthy for a second. I think Peak is the one that was on the IL.
Yeah.
Okay, I will take front of the pod, Drew Rom.
There you go. I spoke with Drew the other day. He's doing well.
Good. I tweeted at Pat Dorian when he got traded to the Milwaukee, and he did not interact with me.
Traded to the Milwaukee. All right. So, Fred, back to you, man.
Sure, let's do it. In the spirit of our discussion to open the show, I'm going to go Kobe Mayo.
Nice. I thought you were going to say Mateo.
No, I'm not. That'd be like drinking harbor water. That won't be happening.
Well, also in the spirit of our discussion earlier, I'm going to take Shane McClanahan. I'm just kidding.
Started typing EM.
Let me go. I don't have a pitcher yet, right?
No.
Give me Felix. Give me big Felix.
Oh, yeah.
Relief
The real
pitchers are
team
fun,
fields.
man. Because, like,
Yeah.
so Freddie, the way the scoring kind of works is like if you get the pitcher that gets the win, he gets 10 points, which for a pitcher, like doubles your points pretty much every week. So like
Yeah.
sometimes with the relief pitcher, they will get the win, and it's like almost more beneficial to take a reliever sometimes.
Yep.
It's very
Oh, cool.
interesting.
Good to know.
It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen occasionally. And it's like, this guy pitched 2 innings this week and he got like 15 points.
Yep.
Sure. Right.
He might not even have pitched that well. Like,
right.
He just happened to be the guy that got the win.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the guy who's had a hot bat the last like 2 days. He's starting to come around. Cedric Mullins. He's had a good night tonight as well, I believe.
Steady. So, and
last
Fred,
pick-
your last pick. I don't think you have to pick anybody because you've got
He's got his pitcher and major leaguer. So
yeah. So free pick
Free reign.
whoever you want.
Cool. We are going with the brand new stud Heston Kjerstad.
Damn it!
Nice.
Damn it! That's where I was going.
I picked him last week, so I couldn't, but yeah, would have this week as well.
Damn it! That's exactly where I was going. Shit. All right. Well, since nobody took him, Gunnar Henderson.
Okay. Man, I am dropping the ball this week.
Yeah. How's your draft analysis now, bitch?
Yeah, I missed Mayo and Henderson. It didn't even occur to me. I'm going to go with the sleeper pick a little bit. Trendon Craig has put together a pretty decent season down there in Delmarva, and he gets on base a lot. He is always hitting for power. It seems like a lot of total bases down there. So that's always good for the fantasy, taking Trendon Craig.
Is this going to be like that time you picked John Rhodes?
No, I picked Colin Burns. And
Oh,
he was
Colin
actually-
Burns.
He
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
actually on my board this week because he had a good week. I like the contact guys who can play a little defense. That's my favorite mold of player.
And yet Colton Cowser was available and you didn't take him.
No, see, he's new level. I think usually the second week that they are up there, they start to struggle a little bit, and it's time for Cowser to struggle. You know, I hate to say that, but I just can't believe in that for a fantasy draft, right?
You know, I like your reasoning. I do.
All in all, I
do.
had an awful draft.
Yep. You suck.
Let me go through the teams. Ryan had Westberg, Hayes, Bautista, Henderson. Freddie had Mancini, Hall, Mayo, Kjerstad. Not Adam Hall, that's DL Hall. I had Taryn Bobra, Drew Rum, Cedric Mullins, and Trendon Craig.
Wouldn't it be funny if you did just put Hall there and then we told Brad that he picked him Adam Hall?
What's Adam Hall up to this year? I thought he had like a decent start to the year. This doesn't matter to anyone but me right now.
No, it really doesn't.
Let's see. Just give me 1 second before you end the episode.
Okay. Who's going to sign off the show? But no, we have to look at what Adam Hall is up to.
And 41 games this year, Bowie, 742 OPS, 15 walks to 47 Ks. Has stole 16 bases without getting caught. So that's something.
That is kind of impressive, actually.
So good job,
All right.
Adam Hall. Hopefully you're going to have a better year this year than you had the last couple.
All right, boys. Anything else you'd like to add?
I think we're good.
No, I'm going to tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then next Tuesday and Wednesday. So I'm gonna see a lot of these Orioles live. I'm looking forward to it. So I'll be sure to.
Oh yeah, man.
Enjoy.
Would you happen to have extras on Saturday?
Stand by on that.
Okay.
Stand by on that because
Cool.
I have not. I know for a fact I have not given away all those tickets yet. So
Yeah, if you do, or even Sunday too.
okay. Yes, I will. I'll take a look around, see who's going to what, and then I will certainly reach out.
That would be awesome.
You
My
get free
wife's leaving.
tickets?
My wife's leaving me for a week, so
I do.
How do you get free
yeah, he
tickets?
does.
Okay. Oh, well, there's season tickets for the family, so
Oh, okay.
I don't just pick them off of a tree. But
Okay. He's like, yeah, I could give you some.
hey, you want to go to the World Series tomorrow? Yeah, right.
Just call him fucking Marlins, man.
Scalping tickets out here.
Yep.
All right.
Freddie, is there anything you would like to plug?
I don't have anything in particular. Just you probably, if you watch this podcast, know where to find me on Twitter. But if not, find me at Masson Orioles with a Z. It's the unverified Masson Orioles on Twitter. And
Look for the sunglasses.
That's the one. I hope to see a lot of you all at the yard a lot more this year.
All right, thanks, bud. Thanks for joining us. It was a blast. Good to have you here.
Yeah, it
we'll
was
have to have
awesome
you back
being here.
again sometime soon, very soon.
I would love to. Yeah.
Follow, per usual, the Twitter account for the show, that Podcast Birdie. Follow me at RyanSet094. Freddie just plugged his account. Follow Brad as well at KU Brad Mundell. Hopefully he'll be back next week. And I guess you can follow Josh too. He's out of state O's. Eventually he'll be in-state O's, and then after that he'll be Atlantic Ocean O's.
Yeah, I'm just working my way down. Every year we're getting a
Mhm.
state closer. I'm going to be
Yep.
in Hagerstown next year, and then I'll just slowly make my way to the coast.
Please don't go to Hagerstown.
I actually saw a truck in my area that said Hagerstown, Maryland on it, and I told Sarah, I was like, yo, when I called you when I was in Baltimore, that's the Walmart I was at. It was the Hagerstown, Maryland Walmart.
You went to that Walmart?
Yeah, dude, it was a mess at 11 o'clock at night. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Do you take the Hagerstown Suns game?
They don't exist anymore.
That's part of. Yeah, I didn't think that. I knew someone got the axe up there.
Yeah, it was them. I think they are going to or already did knock that stadium down completely.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. But anyways,
Yep.
that's it for us. Thanks, Freddie, for being here. It was a lot of fun. And thanks, everybody, for listening. Have a good one.
Awesome.
See you guys.